Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
The construction season is now over, and many are wondering what's next this winter.
And we thank people for understanding and patience through our short but busy construction season.
More on what the latest changes in government might mean for students.
And the more you take away from the faculty, the more it hurts students.
And
find out how the Indigenous community is leaving a message with ribbon skirts.
About how I feel empowered and how I want all other young girls and people who want to wear ribbon skirts want to feel in them.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening, everyone. After 2 years of being strictly online, NAIT's open house has come around again.
After COVID shutting down the past 2 years of in-person open houses, we are back. Our Zach Kenny joins us live from the CAP building with more on that story.
That's right, guys. So here in the CAP building, we have over 100 booths here set up for the open house that's coming up. There's going to be a lot of things that people can do, but a few of those things are going to be lab tours, talking to personal, actual, professionals in each field, as well as instructors and students as well.
That sounds pretty informative for new students, but what labs are available for the tours?
Well, Gavin, there's actually quite a few interesting places, such as the Scotiabank Stock Trading Lab, Emergency Management Simulator, the Medical Radiologic Technology booth, and even a Miller welding truck. On top of that, there's many more.
Wow, there must be a lot of people showing up. Does it cost anything to get in?
Well, not at all. It's entirely free for anybody wanting to come. All you have to do is just make sure you write down, come in from 9 to 4, and parking all around campus is free as well.
That sounds great, but I think people are going to get hungry. Is there anywhere to eat during the open house hours?
Yeah, of course there are. A few of the places I recommend personally would be Bites, which is just inside the LRT station, and Common Market, which is in the south lobby, right over from the ping pong tables.
Perfect. And for people who aren't able to make the open house, is there any way for them to see it?
Yeah, of course. Monday, October 31st from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., there's going to be an online run-through of the entire open house. Pre-registration is required, so find out more at nait.ca/admissions/tours and events. Also, make sure that if you're applying to NAIT, apply this weekend, because Apply Alberta from October 29th to October 31st has waived the application fee. So instead of paying an extra $125, you can apply for free. So make sure to apply with Apply Alberta.
Thanks, Zach. That's our Zach Kenny live from the CAP building.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
NAIT is adopting a new program designed to aid students in the world of business. This experience will introduce an appointed executive in residence that will offer mentorship and insights for the industry. Victor Cooey, the current president and CEO of the Edmonton Elks, will become the inaugural executive in residence, a volunteer role in which Cooey will connect with the J.R. Shaw School business students through keynote addresses and workshops during his tenure.
So when I think about where we're starting today with me is this opportunity as executive in residence, and I parallel that with my journey in business, I understand how the first little seed of an idea and an unreasonable dream grows to something that you can't even imagine.
With the executive in residence being able to retain the position for a maximum of 1 full academic year, Cooey will retain the position until April 2023. Future speaking events will be coordinated and announced by NAIT and the J.R. Shaw School of Business.
The gears of the new Danielle Smith government are grinding. With a newly reshuffled cabinet and a new agenda, students and school faculty across Alberta may be wondering how what's going on in the legislature may affect their schooling. The Minister of Advanced Education reaffirms his belief in supporting the trades.
I think there's some more work that we can do in promoting apprenticeship education and promoting trade, and we will have some more to say about new direction in the coming days.
The minister further states his support for restrictions on tuition increases to stay below the level of inflation. Talks are currently underway with the new premier on new initiatives that this government may have, with a heavy focus on filling the skilled trades shortage. The UCP agenda, however, is not without criticism.
Happy teachers will make happy learning spaces, will make happy students. less and less being invested in the classroom and class sizes going up, that also does not benefit students.
The faculty's main grievance being the government mandates on where and how money can be spent, with accusations of too much government interference.
The construction season is coming to a close, marking the end of both this season and the 4-year construction plan for the city. And students at NAIT have taken notice. In a NAIT NewsWatch poll, NAIT students felt the roads were a little extra congested this summer, and they may not be wrong. Contractors from around the city were rushing to meet their goals so that the city can move forward with its plans for the next 4 years.
This has been a very ambitious infrastructure agenda that Council has set for these 4 years, and coming up shortly we'll be discussing the next 4 years with Council, which also is an equally ambitious infrastructure agenda.
The 4-year construction project had not met 30% of its time goals, most notably with the LRT expansion. 90% of the projects were completed on or under budget. Incomplete projects will be added onto the next year's construction project.
An annual event symbolizing strength, feminism, and survival for the Indigenous community was put on display this past week as Ribbon Skirt Day returns to our city. On a day filled with Indigenous culture, people attending the event were welcomed to hear the guidance of elders in the community, a ribbon skirt fashion show, as well as traditional music, all with the purpose of drawing attention to the prejudice surrounding ribbon skirts and the people who wear them.
The whole movement behind this ribbon skirt is that it's showing people that it's okay to represent who you are and to be proud, to feel beautiful, to be able to go anywhere and wear your traditional garments.
This year's Ribbon Skirt Day concluded with a walk throughout West Edmonton Mall, showcasing the unity and strength in the Indigenous community, a community that will continue to seek future events with the hopes of expanding the knowledge and importance of ribbon skirts to the public. Coming up after the break, we'll ask you our new question of the week.
As well as we hear more about what the NAITUks have up their sleeves this season, stay with us.
Hi, I'm Callan Dunlop, and this week in sports, we're going to be checking out the NAITUks men's and women's team to see how they're going to fare this season.
Hi, I'm Angela Kuzmirchuk. This week was definitely cooler, but will that chill carry into the weekend? We'll find that out and more after the break.
With Halloween around the corner, many are curious about what the weather holds.
That's right. That's why our Angela Kazmierczak fills us in on what we can expect this weekend.
Thanks, guys. With Halloween approaching, many are wondering if they have to dress up or dress down. But no need to wonder, I'll fill you in. All right, so in Calgary, we have a high of 11 and a low of 1 with 20% chance of precipitation. In Jasper, we have a high of 5, a low of 1 with 60% chance of precipitation. Moving on to Fort McMurray, we have a high of 8, a low of 1 with 30% chance of precipitation. And in Edmonton, we have a high of 9 and a low of 3 with a chance of precipitation at 30%. Now for Sunday, it's going to be a nice weekend. But unless you're in Edmonton, you're going to want to hold off on raking your leaves until Monday. It's going to be quite windy with winds at about 27 kilometers per hour. And that's your weather for this weekend.
NewsWatch weather sponsored by NR92 Campus Radio.
It's time for the question of the week, and we're partnered with the NAIT Nugget to hear your voices on issues that affect you.
And voicing your thoughts might win you a prize.
This week's question is about Halloween. As a college student, is Halloween still important to you? Why or why not? You can submit your responses to the NAIT Nugget's Instagram page at the NAIT Nugget by leaving a comment on the question of the week post. The Nugget then picks a random winner for next week's show.
With October coming to an end, the sports seasons are really just beginning.
That's right, Gavin. That's why our Callan Dunlop joins us to fill us in on what's upcoming in sports.
You're right, guys. As with pro sports, the fall is a fan's dream month with all major sports in action. Same with college. October may be ending, but that just means that the NAIT sports teams, like the Ooks women's hockey are gearing up for the long season ahead. Starting their season off 1-0 with a win against SAIT 3-1, the NAIT Ooks women's hockey team is looking to make some big moves this season. The team adds 6 new players to the roster, and with them finishing 3rd last year in the ACAC championship, Coach Brendan Jensen has high hopes for his squad.
The biggest thing, the difference that we're doing is just trying to amplify our cardio and also our mental strength. So we've had a series of actually long distance runs throughout the year, and as well as doing a lot more team building activities and video breakdown right at the start of the year.
Since losing 11-0 to the U of A in preseason, the team has yet to drop a game since September 17th. Our Ryan Browning went down to the NAIT gym to let you know who to watch for this upcoming season for the women's basketball team.
As a new basketball season tips off for the women's basketball team, Coach Lyons and her squad contains 13 amount of players, but her team has some new talents we haven't seen yet on the court. Out of the 5 amount of rookies on her team, she says there are no rookies that are better than the other ones.
We have a lot of rookies coming in that will, help us out a lot. I don't necessarily think, one maybe more than the other, and I think as the season kind of progresses, that might change. So lots of new girls, lots of new faces, and I think they're all going to contribute in a lot of different ways.
As a new coach, Lyons never had a chance to recruit any new players on her squad. She still wants the momentum going from last season since the women's basketball team won CCAA gold.
So I actually haven't had a recruiting class yet. I got the job in the spring when recruiting has kind of come to an end. Had a couple girls join the squad after I got the job, but for the most part the recruiting was the coach from before me.
As for Roy Vandermeer, she's a first-year NAIT student playing basketball for the Ooks, and also had other family members playing for this team that had positive feedback while playing, and also talks about why she chose NAIT to play basketball.
I chose it because they have amazing programs here, and I just love the coaching and basketball environment. My sister played before me, and she had amazing things to say about it, and I just thought it's close to home, and yeah.
You can catch the Ooks next game against University of Alberta at 8 p.m. tomorrow on Ryan Browning, NAIT NewsWatch.
The NAIT Ooks men's hockey team is fresh off an ACAC championship, and they're looking to repeat. The Ooks start their season off 2-0, defeating Concordia twice, switching the netminder in each game. With a whopping 14 new roster spots, the team is practically brand new. Coach Scott Felnemir believes NAIT's winning culture will carry them throughout the season.
Challenge getting everyone used to our systems, but also we've got 12 returning players that are showing guys the right way and understand our systems. So I feel good about where we're at.
The team's next hurdle is back-to-back games tonight and tomorrow versus SAIT. And I don't know about you guys, but I sure am pumped about these 2 back-to-back games for the men's hockey.
I mean, a rivalry like that, if anything, it's sort of like the Polytechnic Battle of Alberta, isn't it?
Yeah, and shout out to the women's team. They look really, really poised for a contending run this year.
For sure. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Callan. Coming up after the break, we check out a food drive with a spooky twist.
We also try our luck sparring with a Muay Thai instructor.
People often debate about what the best martial art is for self-defense.
Coming up after the break, we got our spooks in at one of the oldest buildings in Edmonton. Stay tuned.
NewsWatch music provided by Martin Mayer Productions.
Welcome back to NAIT NewsWatch. It's now time to jump into this week's segment of Try This.
Our Kolby Ip heads over to a martial arts gym to learn some more Muay Thai.
Hey everyone, I'm Kolby Ip with NAIT NewsWatch, and today on Try This, I'm learning some self-defense here at Rochester Sherwood Park. Today, I'm trying Muay Thai, but as you can see, I'm not properly dressed yet. That's much better. You know what? I think it's time to get going.
We start off with some warm-ups, jumping rope, stretching, and some basic exercises.
I am not built for this.
Once warmed up, we get on our gear, and we start hitting pads to practice our technique. Now we really get into the meat and potatoes of it. as we start practicing combinations on each other, going back and forth until perfection.
This ain't easy.
People often debate about what the best martial art is for self-defense. Muay Thai is really solid because you learn a really strong foundation. It's all about hitting super hard and being really balanced and trying to do the most amount of damage as you can to your opponent. So I would say Muay Thai is very good for self-defense on the feet.
So I think I've practiced enough now. I think it's time we test out my sparring skills.
We got Bloxham in the yellow and Ip in the blue. Good jabs by Ip, making space. Oh, and a big front kick from Bloxham. He fakes the high and goes for a low with a solid combo to follow up. Good combo by Ip, but Bloxham blocks it all. Oh my goodness, he catches the kick and Ip is out. This fight is over.
Clearly I need to practice more. For NAIT NewsWatch, I'm Kolby Ip.
You know, Gavin, it's actually my uncle who runs that dojo, and I've never actually taken the lessons.
Yeah, no, it never hurts to learn how to protect yourself.
No, certainly not. Now, joining us live from the studio is Ty Rouswell to tell us about the entertainment events going on this week.
Thanks, guys. It's almost Halloween and the city is crawling with unique events to celebrate. Some are even trying to use the holiday to give back to their communities. One of the oldest buildings in Edmonton is looking to the past to help others in the present. Built in the early 1900s, the once Transit Hotel has rebranded to the Transit Smokehouse and Barbecue. They're partnering with the Beverly Daycare Society for a food drive with a spooky twist. Guests will be taken through the now abandoned hotel section to discover what's hiding under the bed.
I'm down there all the time by myself. I don't know if I'm open to it or not, but you know, if you're open to the energy is going to find you.
Folks really wanted to have a look at the old hotel rooms, and this was the best way that we could think of to give them a glimpse. So we don't charge very much. It's really just to cover our costs and any profit for the ticket sales that goes to a local charity here.
The Haunted House Brisket and Boo is planned to be an annual event, and Transit hopes to help more charities in the future. A local artist is twisting his own vision of Halloween as his seasonal sculpture is like none other. Glenn LaValle, the balloon guy, is presenting his Dragon and Knight sculpture to the St. Albert Center this Halloween. Guests are invited to take part in the selfie contest where you can upload a picture for a chance to win a gift card. With over 3,000 balloons used, the sculpture is sure to turn heads.
The mall approached me because I had done work with them last year. And last year I had done the same sort of a setup, but it was a haunted pumpkin patch made completely out of balloons. I had actually designed the Knight sculpture previously as a tutorial. They really wanted a dragon in the Halloween setup somehow. So it seemed to me an obvious thing would be a dragon fighting a knight.
Each balloon is stuffed with a second balloon to assure it will stay inflated until its final day in the mall on November 1st. To celebrate the spooky season, we asked NAIT students what they are dressing up as this year.
My buddy came as like the Joker, I think. Yeah, like all the makeup and stuff. And for a lab, that's kind of impressive. He had his lab coat on and everything. So it's commitment. It's a commitment. But I think last year I was like a safari guide or something, and then usually I'd throw in some rugby clothes and I'd be a rugby player or something like that.
Usually just the blanket over top for the ghost. Yeah.
I'm being a firefighter.
Yeah.
Dalmatian.
I could be like Darth Vader or something like that.
Me and 3 of my friends are pirates.
I want to be participating in Halloween. I want to do some makeup. I'll try nun. I like the nun, so I'll try that.
Or you're Transformer related, something like that, you know, dress up in like some cool armor or something like that.
Like wings this high. Like I was gonna buy them in Etsy. Yeah. I couldn't. No. I couldn't. Dumb student loans didn't afford it. Yeah. But yeah, it was going to be like big wings. But yeah.
What a range of costumes. I mean, I'm honestly so happy to see people dressing up again this year.
Oh, me too.
I know. I've got this old Maverick costume from Top Gun laying around somewhere. I need to find it. Say, Ty, what are you going for Halloween?
You know, I kind of dropped the ball. I didn't quite really plan anything, but I'm usually the king of throwing stuff together, so I'll figure it out.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Ty. That's all we have for you tonight.
To hear more on tonight's stories, visit naitnewswatch.ca. We hope to see you next time. Good night, everyone.